Speaking of finding animal carcasses in a woods, I have a story about that. Be fly fishing around an alpine lake in a fairly remote part of my local range. The only people I've seen in the past 2 days were horsepackers back on the main trail. Exchanged pleasantries with them, noticed they all seem to have rifles. Passed it off as horsepackers just being horsepackers, they always overpack. Have no guns myself, just a backpack, camping gear, and fly fishing gear. Pulling in a lot of large fish today. The weather is nice. Thinking that I'll stay at this lake another night. Going around the shore, I come to a cove and almost step on a dead moose. Jump backwards about 10 feet because holy shit, dead moose. Creep a little closer because cool man, it's a dead moose. Notice that Bullwinkle didn't die of natural causes. Something has been eating him. On closer inspection, his entire midsection is hollowed out. Scratch that, this fucking moose looks like a victim of some top predator from the Serengeti. Notice fresh blood coating the soil. At this point, my brain starts doing what it should have done at first sight of the partially eaten animal. My eyes scan the surrounding trees. Did I scare somebody off when I came close? Am I being watched right now? Look down at the soil around the carcass hoping to find cougar tracks, but most of the dirt is lumpy and dry. All I can see are what look like bird tracks scratched into the muddiest, smoothest patches of the soil. Hundreds, and hundreds of bird tracks. The closer I look, the clearer the story becomes. I was looking for bear tracks, or mountain lion tracks. All I can see are fucking bird tracks. My travel to the lake was cross-country, and I leave by a cross-country route in the opposite direction. Concluding that bears or mountain lions must have killed the moose, and crows had just moved in afterwards, I rest easy on a campsite away from water, halfway between that lake and the next lake I will fish. Next day, I reach a lake several times bigger than the previous day's lake. Fishing is average. It's cloudy and windy, and I lose interest in fishing. Wander off into the brush, but quickly come upon another carcass, this time of a fairly large bear. Oddly, its torso is untouched, but its legs are all chewed down to the bones. Fucking bear looks like it walked on stilts. What the fucking heart? Acutely aware how alone I am in the woods right now. Out of nowhere, noises in the near distance. Sounds like weird babbling and footsteps. Can see the tops of half a dozen light brown organic things poking up over the brush. Have no fucking clue what I'm looking at. Hide, and tactically hold my breath, try not to make any sound or movement. My pack and clothes are all natural colors, so I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Do it bear mace. Get that ready to deploy it at any second. The light brown things turn out to be the tops of people's cowboy hatted heads on their horses. It's one of the groups of horsepackers I saw a few days ago. Get to chatting, and mention the bear on stilts. A few of them are very interested and want to see it. I guide a few of them back to where I thought it was, but can't find it. Must not have been paying attention when I wandered away from it. Then one of the guys takes me aside and explains what they saw over the past few days. Dead animals fucking everywhere. Most were deer, a few moose. Some looked like they were eaten by mountain lions. Others looked like they'd been mutilated for fun. None of these people were sure what was killing these animals, other animals or a depraved human. They suspected it was some person doing it, but weren't able to find gunshot or arrow wounds on any of the animals. Though I've been on dozens of week-long inner-woods trips in my life, and though I've always considered myself a reliable woodsman, and though I have a lot of pride for my independence, at that moment, I was scared for my life. At that moment, I just wanted to plead to the horsepackers to let me into their group and let's get the fuck out of there. The way the conversation was going, I was sure they'd say okay if I asked. But somehow my pride kept me from asking. I came into the woods alone, and I was determined to leave the woods alone. Besides, the horsepackers were probably exaggerating anyway, or so I figured at the time. Over the next several days, as I gradually made my way back to the trailhead, I saw no less than 63 dead deer, 13 dead moose, 2 dead bears, and 1 dead coyote/wolf. I traveled cross-country, and in a different direction than the horsepackers came in from. Not even on a trail. No way it could have been done by a single deranged poacher. One of the moose was hanging limply over a thick tree branch, 20+ feet in the air. That one seemed to still be breathing, but had given up on living. All of those carcasses were fresh, sometimes still bleeding out. Finally got to car, and got the hell out of there. Too scared to go back.
B moose. Casually moosing along. Walking to springboard. All of a sudden in tree. Feel a bit shaken. Such is life in the zone.